It has been a minute since I have sat down and talked to you guys and given you a full update on everything that's been going on. And if I would write a book about my life, I think the last 6 months of it would take up a majority of the pages. There has been so much going on, both extremely good and also very heartbreaking. If you're new here, subscribe. There will be more food content to come, but this year will be a different year in terms of content for me. That is because Matt and I just purchased a vacation home out in the high desert, Yucca Valley, to be exact. We will not be leaving Los Angeles. We still live in our house. We love it here. We're actually refinancing our house, which is like a whole, it's like a second job. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. And this will be a home that we, our family, will go to for vacations for hopefully the rest of our lives. But it is a place that maybe in the future, someday down the road, it will be an option for you guys to come stay and visit as well. I will link to the house in the description below. This year with COVID happening, we weren't really able to travel or go on vacations, and we kind of just felt isolated and stuck in this one little plot of land that's very small. We love it, we're grateful for it, but it is kind of like small. And we had always wanted to invest in real estate. It had been on our things to do list for a long time. And so we felt like this was our moment to go and invest in something that we could just go to any weekend that we wanted. We could take our friends and our family and our colleagues and go to the desert for a long weekend, and we don't have to worry about traveling during this crazy time. It really is a fun 2.5 hour trip, and you get out of the city and you get some fresh air. It feels so small town. It feels like the town that I grew in North Carolina, the town that I grew up in North Carolina. And there are a lot of chain restaurants and Walmarts and outlet malls. Like there's a Sonic down the street from my house in the desert, which is amazing. But what's really exciting is that I am going to be kind of helming a complete top to bottom renovation on this house. We have this really specific vision for how we want that place to look and feel when we go there. So over the next year, probably, you will be following along on that journey of doing house projects, DIYs, renovations, design, decorating. We actually went in on this home purchase with Matt's family, so it truly is a family vacation home. The family is all involved. I'm the one who's project managing. What's interesting is I had my real estate license in California. I helped build condominiums in Studio City, California, and I've pretty much remodeled our house that we're currently living in. When we moved in, it was kind of a cosmetic remodel, but I've come in and really gone in deep. We've replaced the foundation on this house, which was insanely crazy, but very necessary in a place like Los Angeles where there are earthquakes all the time. Completely renovated our backyard. So I think I'm gonna be pretty good at this, but subscribe to my channel to see me fail, because I know I will fail, and I'm kind of looking forward to it actually. So you will be seeing a full empty house tour, which isn't actually empty, and if you watch the video you will see why tomorrow. The second question that I want to address is about Clevver, and if I'm coming back to Clevver, what's going on with Clevver. And as of right now, I will be going back to Clevver a couple of days a month. We were in a very long process of like negotiating a contract, and during that time I was not going in at all. So I'll be going back in, I think next week, to film some stuff. I won't be there as much as I used to be there. I'm gonna have my hands full this year. I do have other passions and other things that I also want to add to my plate. So juggling that schedule is gonna be a little bit challenging, but we're gonna figure it out. And I'm excited. I haven't seen the Clevver folks in a long time. It feels like I've lived an entire life since I've seen them last. I haven't been there since June, I think, or May of last year. How are you and your husband doing? That was another popular question. We're doing so well. Matt just started a brand new, really big job. I'm so proud of him. Matt's an entertainment attorney, and he has been for many years, and he just accepted a new position at one of the largest law firms in the world. And he's gonna be working on a very small team in the film and television development, production, financing arena, which I don't even actually know what any of that means. I think he like helps make movies and stuff. I'm actually not privy to all of his projects because it is confidential. difficult, but he does work on some major productions. It's kind of cool. I don't think he thinks it's as cool as I think it is, but he's now taking his expertise to the next level. And I'm just in awe of him. He's worked so hard and he really is one of the best attorneys in the game. So I'm pretty lucky that I have my own entertainment attorney living with me in-house. Actually, I have to get a new attorney this year because Matt cannot continue to be my attorney. I can't afford him. so I have to hire a new attorney. I'm really happy for him and he's just gonna kill it. As far as me, I'm doing pretty well, all things considered. You guys know I have been on a very difficult health fertility journey over the last, I would say like 5 or 6 years, but really the last 2 years have really tried to do me in and was not successful in doing so. My life moves so quickly and every day is like a new challenge or new adventure, and I don't have a lot of time to sit and really ponder and think and marinate and stir on all the horrible things that have happened to me. And I'm so grateful because if I didn't have all of these things going on at once, I probably would still be struggling a lot more than I currently am. But I feel good. I'm not discouraged. I still have hope for us and in building our family. I know that's gonna happen. I will be doing some sort of egg retrieval here in the next couple of months. So ladies, if you've had any experience with egg retrieval that's helpful, please let me know in the comments or message me. I don't wanna get into our plans for the future just yet because we are still in the midst of figuring some really challenging stuff out with regards to fertility. I think I'm gonna do another video about this because it is a very sensitive, somber topic. And as much as I'd like to tell you all the nitty-gritty details, I don't know if everybody who's watching this video wants to hear all of that right in this very moment. So I'm gonna probably do a whole other video talking about it. But just to let you know, I'm doing so much better. I'm in a place where I can talk about it. I'm not crying when I talk about it, which is a huge step. And I'm just so grateful that I had the most amazing doctors, I think, in the country. I mean, I had specialists from all over the country. I think I had like 10 doctors at some point looking at all of my scans. I had doctors calling me all hours of the day and night. And I just have felt so supported. And I know not everyone's journey is that way. And so I feel really blessed and grateful and truly privileged to live in a place where I have that kind of access. So as much as I don't like Los Angeles, I am grateful that I live here because those types of physicians and doctors are really in a city like this. Any cool projects coming up, someone wants to know. Renovating this house, so I'm gonna be making a ton of videos. I've already started making videos about that process, and so if you're into home renovation stuff, this is gonna be the place for you. I'm still gonna do food videos on this channel just because a girl's gotta eat, you know what I mean? And I love it so much. So I'll always be doing food videos sprinkled in somewhere. I did sign with a commercial agent this year, which is the first time I've had a commercial agent in like 15 years. And there are always things that are kind of on the back burner, just simmering until the moment is right for those things to come to light. I think this year's gonna be a really great year. Also, Matt and I purchased a Tesla this year, and I'm gonna be doing some videos about that as well, mostly because I want to write it off on my taxes. When we were looking for vehicles, you can't even buy a car right now. It's so hard. Used to, you would go buy a car and they'd give you like 10,000 off the sticker price, and now they're charging you like 10 or 15,000 above the sticker price. It was crazy buying a car this year, and we ended up buying the Tesla mostly because it was the only car that we could get that was fully electric, which is what we wanted. We got the Y, which is like their compact SUV, but it really isn't. It's kind of just like a car. And I have some qualms with that car. Like, I like it, I think it's great and so cool, but there are some things that I'm like, I feel like a man made these choices. But there are some things that are not that great. I will save all of my true thoughts for another video. This question comes up a lot and I'm gonna address it here. I'll probably have to address it a million times, but people wanna know if Matt and I are considering adopting. At this point, we are not. It's not that we aren't open to it or even haven't thought about it, but at this phase of where we are in our life, it's not something that we want to pursue, and that's okay. And if somebody has fertility struggles, I really think it is so inappropriate to then ask that person if they're going to be doing something else instead of pursuing their fertility journey. Not that I don't think that adoption is amazing and we've considered it, but it's irrelevant to where we are right now. It's something that's a unique choice that deserves its own consideration separate from I'm dealing with a struggle over here. I don't know if that makes sense, but someone asked, what have you been doing to look after yourself when you really don't feel like it? Staying busy, having other projects to be working on and spending your time on really does help. I think everybody should mourn difficult times. We all go through it. We all need to stop and pause and process and grieve. But I think the sooner that we can get back to our life in optimism and hopefulness, the sooner you'll heal. Other thing is moving your body. It's not about like working out, but finding a way to get up every day, put on your workout outfit, and don't sit on the couch. Even though it's tempting because those Gymshark leggings are buttery, let me tell you. But when you put those bad boys on, get yourself out of your house, walk around the block, do some Pilates in your house. I did a whole video about kind of a little bit of a physical transformation that I went through after I had our huge loss in September. You guys know my hormones were crazy. My body changed really fast and I was on chemotherapy for like short of 8 weeks. So my body was like completely different by the time I was done with that process. And so I really had to figure out a way to get myself reset again because I didn't feel good. I didn't recognize myself. My clothes didn't fit. My body just looked, when I looked at myself in the mirror, my body looked like it had just been through battle, if that makes sense. It just looked exhausted. And I knew at that moment, I was like, you know, I really have to find a way to move my body and get myself back in a routine that serves me. Stay tuned for an empty house tour. It's coming. I appreciate you guys so much for being a part of this community. We are growing and changing and evolving all the time, and I'm just so grateful that you guys are here for the ride. It means so much to me. I have so many great things that bring me so much joy in my life. One of the things that I learned in this season is that really hard times come to everyone. And if you haven't had a hard time happen, it's coming. So just prepare yourself, get your therapist appointment lined up. But one thing I've learned in my life, because I've gone through other really hard seasons, is that it's not hard forever. And almost the harder that life is sometimes, the greater the flip side is of the joy and the successes. So sometimes you almost feel like you can't really fully be who you are and soar in your life and grow as a person if you didn't really have some really hard, nitty-gritty, difficult times that you've gone through. And life is what you make it. I hope you're having the best 2022. I'd say ever, but this is the only 2022 you've ever had. So I hope you're having the best year. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I would love it if you would follow me on this crazy renovation journey that I'm about to embark on. I am so excited about it. And stay tuned for a house tour, and then I'll give you guys a complete fertility update soon.